Good morning. I'm pretty sure we're day 71 today of 365 days of daily routines and rituals with me, Carla Marie. Good morning. Before we begin, we are Tuesday, the 24th of March, 2026. And to begin our morning, we are going to start with our Luminous Humanist book, The Nature of Your True Wealth. From a luminous perspective, you are abundant, have way more than you need, and are more constantly streams to you and through you, whether or not that you can see it. There's nothing to fear. From up here, it's perfectly clear that when the shackles come off, your magnetic vibration puts you in the endless stream of what you need and when you need it. I take high vibe action to bring my desires into the 3D. I like that. We're doing a little series at the moment on TikTok where I'm sharing the content on Facebook and stuff about the 13 parts of being a human being. And that's what that reminds me of. Yesterday we did the post on free will, and today I'll upload another one. And it's all of the different principles on what we should be doing as a human being. And the principles came from a workshop that I went to at Sisterhood Rising last year, and the beautiful Alison Jared, who is like the metaphysical expert. Her and her husband have trained in this field for so long, eons. They teach it, all the things. She spoke into Archangel Metatron and his 13 principles of what it feels like to be a human being based on the Maruka cube. So that is the cube of Archangel Metatron. And Archangel Metatron, before he became an archangel, was actually a human being. He was Enoch. He walked on earth. And through his journey of walking on earth, he learnt the 13 principles to discover what it meant to be a human being. And the first lesson of that is free will and understanding that we are actually programmed as human beings, that everything we know, see, and do is from repetition, not because we think that is right or wrong. And so Archangel Metatron, his journey, his purpose was to master that. He became the most incredible human being of learning what self-mastery was to become a better human. Pretty freaking cool if you ask me. And because of that, he earned his badge of being an archangel. Now, archangels are usually beings that have never ever walked on earth before. And this particular archangel got to do both. He knows what it means to be a human. He understands the turmoil and the frustration that we sit in, which is pretty cool, right? Because he did it himself. But because of that, he got to be one of the most biggest and influential angels in heaven or in the ether. And because of that, he gets to sit next to God. He has walked both sides. He has walked with the devil himself on his earthly experience and learned how to overcome those challenges. He mastered it, for goodness sake. And that is why when we call in Archangel Metatron, it is said that we often as human beings struggle to see him because his light is so bright and brilliant that it is like the sun. It's like looking at the sun when Archangel Metatron is present. And I think that's such a cool little thing, right? Because it reminds us that no matter what we are doing, who we are, what era we walk through, we have the opportunity to be like Enoch. We have an opportunity to go against whatever that was and create our own story and become self-masters of that experience. It's pretty amazing. And then when you start to really unravel this, when you really look into religion, right? Because that's my journey. That's why I get to tell all these cool things. It's the same philosophies and principles of being Buddhist. It's ending suffering. How to master being a human without staying in the suffering of being a human, right? It's pretty cool how all of these things link together, yet are so separate and different when we're traveling through those different spaces, right? All these little things that I have learned along my journey. I think I actually have a book on angels, and I wonder if Metatron is in here, because he is one of the bigger angels. And it talks into the different things. Archangel Metatron. Let's see what we can find on him. He's actually not in this book. Oh, hang on. They've got Enoch in here. So, eldest son of Cain and the father of Methuselah, said to have been taken up by God physically at the end of his earthly life. I love that. Let's see if we can find him, because it is a really powerful story, and the Book of Enoch has gotten quite lost over the eons. It's actually one of the books that they removed, which is pretty insane to think, right? And I just feel like I want to share some of this. So a lot of the angels and stuff come from the Judaist teachings, so from the Old Testament. And then you've got Archangel Michael, who is the warrior and leader of the heavenly army. You've got Great Gabriel, who is a messenger. Raphael, which is God's helper, and Uriel, which is the light of God, the angel of prophecy and interpretation. Goes into quite deep. Then it talks about evil angels, angels of the Kabbalah, which actually might have Enoch in here. Let me have a quick look. Because this is the Kabbalah of the Tree of Life. So this is what the traditional Jewish Tree of Life looks like, if anyone has not seen that before. So we work off in phases, and we move around that in their thing. So they call it the 10 stages. Now I look at this differently, because I look at they actually talk about this. All right, let's read it. Ooh, this is an interesting morning, right? Who needs to know about angels today? The 10 stages are collectively known as the Seerfalt, each representing one of the 10 divine attributes. I look at it as 13, so that might be where there's a little bit of a difference here between the different religions. The tree holds these attributes in a fixed set of relationships that are governed by divine principles. While the tree is identified as attributes of God, it is also representative of human experience as we're created in the image of God. The divine principles are expressed in 3 pillars of the tree of life: the left, the right, and the middle. They govern the relationships between the seraphs, thus achieving perfect balance. The left pillar is the side of power, justice, and constraint. It represents the fearsome awe of God. If unrestrained, evil will rise. The right pillar represents expansion, mercy, unity, harmony, and benevolence. The middle pillar represents equilibrium and grace, the ideal balance between divine mercy and justice. The angel closest to God is Metatron, which communicates grace to his twin brother, the angel of Sandalphon, down to the middle pillar, and humankind may climb to reach it through spiritual perfection. So each pillar is governed by an angel. So we're going to turn the page and we can find that out. And each pillar has an angel and a demon hovering around each person to make sure that they make a moral choice. And that is free will. So we have Archangel Metatron. He is our divine crown. So the angel closest to God, he is linked between the divine and humankind. He was Enoch before his physical ascension to heaven. The chief of the Hatoth, the holy beast, Metatron was the counselor to Moses back in those times. Then we have Archangel Raziel, who is known for wisdom. So he is wisdom personified and the angel of mysteries, chief of the valiant ones. Raziel was Adam's counselor when he was in his earthly experience. You have Zaphiel, which is the angel of complementation, so learning for understanding. So when we want to learn or understand, we should be calling him in. Now, if you're not sure which angel to call in, literally call that in. I need understanding. Please, the angel of understanding, help me through this time. Keep it really simple. You've got the angel of mercy, Zadkiel. So chief of the order of Hashlem, or the dominions. He is the angel of benevolence, the angel of mercy, and the angel of justice. He was Abraham's counselor. It's kind of cool. I've not really read this it's been a really long time since I read this. Then we have Samuel. So he is about justice, might, judgment, and power. The advisory who represents the sovereignty of God. The chief of the angels and the leader of 12,000 angels of destruction. He is also known as the angel of death. When we have Archangel Michael in the middle, so the sun is splendor, chief of the heavenly hosts, angels of presence, angel of reverence, angel of righteousness, angel of mercy, and angel of sanctification. Michael was the counselor to Solomon when he was here. Then we have Haniel, and he is about endurance, victory, and eternity. He who sees God, and the chief of the brilliant ones. He transported Enoch to heaven. Then we have Raphael. He's one of my favorites, and he is the angel of both the world and humankind, of compassion and love. The chief of the Benin Elm, the host of angels who unincreasingly sing their praises to God. Raphael was a counselor to Isaac. Then we have Gabriel. He is for foundations. He's someone I call in for protection often if I'm doing a big cleansing around my home. The Prince of Justice and chief of the Ophanim and Cherubim foundation, so the wheels of the chariot. He is the angel of mercy, the angel of vengeance, the angel of death, and the angel of revelation. Gabriel was a counselor to Josh and Daniel in his journey. And then we've got Sandalphon, the twin brother of Metatron, and originally the prophet of Elas. He is said to be the tallest angel. His feet are on earth while his head reaches into the world of heaven. He ensures that the prayers that are faithful ascend as an orb into the kingdom of God. Sandalphon is the guardian angel of earth and is involved in ceaseless combat with Samuel. So between the angel of death and Archangel Enoch's brother, they both create balance on earth. It's pretty cool. And then it goes into the different Christianity beliefs within that space then. So it's quite interesting. They think that the angels are the highest order of angels, and they are the guardians before God's throne. And they are referred to as the burning ones because they are aflame with the love of God. God's grace flows through the seraphim to the angels below, dispelling darkness and purifying the universe. They call to one another, "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts, and the whole of earth is full of his glory." Now that is just the Christian version of that. So you can see there is quite a bit of a difference between the differences in the way that they look at it. I find it really fascinating because in the Christian versions, they don't like Archangel Metatron, which is really interesting, where as a human being, he is one of my favorites because he shows us that there is hope, that we can move forward, that we don't get stuck, that if we want to become better and greater and maybe one day sit up on those thrones, maybe that's where we'll be, right? But he gives us that hope and that courage that it does not matter where we are in our lives, every day is a new opportunity to be brought back into alignment with what is right, what is good, and where our hearts should be. So if you want to know more about those 13 principles of what Archangel Metatron actually teaches, over the next couple of days, I'm going to be sharing all of those videos. And you will see within those videos how much learning about who you are, the pillars of being a human being, link back to self-love and the foundations that I teach. And it all comes back from spirit. Can you see how much this lights me up? Because when I work with spirit, nothing can go wrong. And everything that they have shown me over the last few years has always been about bringing me back to being a better human being, learning and teaching me how to heal, how to be a kinder human, and all of those things. And I've noticed over the last couple of months, with a few of the personal changes that I've had in my life, I've noticed that some people don't feel like they either resonate with me anymore or whatever the stories are. There's lots. But what I keep being shown is because my light is getting bigger, because I really do follow spirit. I do not deviate from that road because it makes me safe. It keeps me grounded. It has shown me countless things in the last 6 years that I can't explain to people, right? It makes me emotional because because how do you explain to someone that spirit's real? That's emotional. How do you explain that to someone? How do you explain to someone that the trauma that they hold comes from, these different parts of us that haven't been healed before? And I think that's why spirit have shown me how to love myself, because I didn't have those tools. I didn't believe in angels like this. I didn't believe in a high power. And I think that's the cool journey of this. That went emotional real fast. Woo! And that's because we're channeling unconditional love. It is fucking overwhelming when I'm speaking from that space. Because how often do we hear the truth like that? Not often, right? And spirit have been the truth in a weird way. You can't deny the first voice you hear. You cannot deny the spiritual hearings that you hear from God, right? However you perceive that, whatever you believe God to be, because I don't believe that there's a man sitting in a chair and a throne. I don't believe in that. I do believe there is an energy out there that is within us and below us and above us and around us, and it makes us all God. And I think that's why I believe in such etheric energies, because I feel that. I feel Archangel Raphael giving me the motivation and his beautiful yellow light to help push me through whatever it is that I'm moving through. When I call in Archangel Michael for that protection, I'm calling him in with his beautiful sword and his violet flame, and I'm asking for him to protect me. And you can't explain that to someone who has no belief. And the only way we can learn to believe or know something is by learning about it, understanding it, sitting with the conversations, hearing the stories, and then sitting with the integration of how does that land for me? I literally just pulled up a book of angels, which straight away has told you 2 variations of what that was because of 2 different perspectives. It is up to us to discover what the perspective is. How does that land? How does that sit? I don't believe in religion in the way that everyone else does, but I believe in etheric energies, and I definitely believe that we are not alone in the world. And if a human being can uplift their vibration so much that they can be in that etheric realm with whatever we perceive to be God, does that not give you hope that you too can be a really amazing human being and move into those alignments just the same as he did? It's those things, right? And as women, majority of us are women listening to this, we listen to those stories which are predominantly men, because it was a very, very patriarchal system. We are slowly breaking that down here, and we're moving into a more matriarchal system. But the patriarchal system was so highly ingrained that you never, ever, ever heard the word of a woman. Now, I can tell you, Mary Magdalene, she is in the Bible. She helped Enoch. She helped, Jesus. She helped those people move in those timelines for whatever reason, because she was a good human and she listened to that higher self as well. We're just not taught about the woman perspective on how women helped those men in those times. It was just kind of shunned upon because it was patriarchal. That's why. Nothing to do with anything else. A lot of women run the world back then, but it is, again, something that you probably won't hear a lot of. It's all the things. God, this is a big conversation this morning. Did not expect it to go this way, but these are the things, right? These are the things that make us think, keep going. What a morning. Anyway, if you want to know more about those 13 pillars of being a human being and how it links back to self-love and how it all unravels spiritually, it's a really cool thing how it all ties back together. But if you are interested, we're going to be running that in the next couple of weeks. I'm thinking maybe instead of the 9th of May, I'm thinking maybe bring it forward maybe 2 or 3 weeks, so end of April. We're not going to New Zealand now until later on in the year, if at all. I'm not sure what our plans are with the global economics. We're just seeing where life takes us currently. So we might bring it forward so we can run it again, so we can go back over those fundamentals of what it is to be a human being and how do we move through our trauma, our stuff, our things. How do we unravel our mind and all of that. So if you want to know more about the fundamentals, come and join me to learn self-love. Have a beautiful and blessed day. I hope you have the most joyous day, whatever it is that you are doing. This morning went on a side quest, it feels like. I love you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for my gibbering. Mwah. I love you. Bye.